the emperor is shocked to discover his noble empress is actually squatting in the corner eating with their son, while his father-in-law of extremely low rank sits arrogantly in the seat of honor. At this moment his son calls the emperor over to squat and eat together. The son's complete normalcy about this instantly makes the emperor furious. He immediately demands an answer from his father-in-law why his wife and child cannot eat at the table. Who would have thought the wife's stepmother would actually say, a woman who had a child with some random man outside should be grateful they haven't kicked her out, so she only deserves to squat and eat like a dog. Little do they know the random man they speak of is the current emperor. The more arrogant they are now, the more they will soon regret it. It turns out 6 years ago when the emperor was touring among the common people, he suddenly felt unbearably hot all over. Only then did he realize the empress dowager had secretly given him an aphrodisiac before he left the palace to ensure an heir. The eunuch saw the drug taking effect and quickly slipped away. Just when the emperor could no longer bear it, the woman also felt the same unbearable heat. It turns out her stepmother, wanting to drive her out, had also given her an aphrodisiac. Just as the maid was leaving to find an antidote for the woman, the two of them happened to meet on the street, so they ended up treating each other as the antidote. But from just that one night, the woman became pregnant with the emperor's child. Soon 6 years passed. The woman brought shame to her family with her unwed pregnancy, and was demoted by her father and stepmother to the lowest servant. Even her son and his mother became targets for everyone to bully at will. Since this day is her father's birthday, the stepmother sends her to the tavern to buy wine, and every year at this time, the emperor always revisits this place, just to find that woman from years ago. Until this day, after 6 years, they finally meet again. The emperor immediately rushes forward excitedly to grab the woman's hand. However, the woman directly slaps him across the face. The emperor is completely confused by the slap. Then the woman tearfully accuses him of being irresponsible back then, making her have a child out of wedlock and become a laughingstock. Only now does the emperor realize the woman actually bore him a child. Looking at the sensible child before him, the emperor thinks of all the suffering mother and son endured these years, and wants nothing more than to immediately take them back to the palace. So he says right then he needs to go back and prepare to marry her with the highest ceremonial honors. However, the girl thinks the emperor is just making excuses to escape, and firmly blocks his way. Then the woman says if no one is willing to marry her, she will never escape this home where she suffers constant humiliation. After saying this, she forcibly drags the emperor home. Upon returning home, the woman immediately announces the man is the child's biological father. The woman thinks now that she has a husband her family won't bully her anymore, who knew her father and stepmother would see the emperor's plain clothes and not take the man seriously at all. They even directly scold their daughter for bringing home a random man and disgracing the family. Little do they know the emperor's plain attire is simply his disguise for inspecting the common people. The emperor sees how harsh the woman's family is, and finally understands the hardships she endured these years. Meanwhile, the eunuch has already reported to the empress dowager that they have found the empress and crown prince. The empress dowager is overjoyed upon hearing this, and immediately orders preparations for imperial ceremonial honors.